All right, guys, what's good? So this is going to be a Keepa overview video. We're going to dive in here. We're going to go over the tabs of Keepa and maybe some other topics while we're on this video. So we're on an Amazon listing page. If you're not familiar with Keepa, this is going to go over everything you need to know. Keepa is pretty much the one tool you need to be successful and make good buying decisions on Amazon. Keepa is a standalone tool, but it does sit underneath the Amazon listing page. So this is what Keepa looks like if you're not familiar with it. We have several parameters on the right-hand side of the screen that is going to change the chart. So diving into this, there's a lot of things here that you can turn on and off on the right-hand side. A lot of these I don't ever leave on, but they can be handy to use. So some of the most important ones walking down top to bottom is sales rank. Every item on Amazon has a sales rank. That is the green line here on the chart. If an item has a sales rank on Amazon, it's going to ping up and down. So when the line goes down and the rank drops, that means that the item is selling. The more an item is selling, the lower the rank. So over here in March to April, we see the rank going from 14 to mid 20K. Here in the summer, the rank is 2000. So in this area of the chart, the sales rank improved from, mid 20s all the way down to 2000. So down here is selling a lot faster than a few months ago, previously in the 20K mark. So sales rank is showing you how quickly an item is selling and how steadily the item is selling. You can see that a year ago, it's selling less over here. For the last 3 months, it's actually been very, very steady here over this course of the chart. The next here that you can toggle on and off is buy box. If you're not familiar with what the buy box is, this is a variation listing. So if I click a size here, this seller Supersonic Supply has 22 stock. If I wanted to add this item to my cart or hit buy now, that is what the buy box is. So this price down here is actually showing price action of the listings that you're looking at on Amazon. So in this range, there actually is no buy box. We can see the buy box float in here at 70. But for this entire range of the chart, there actually is no buy box. Here we see that the buy box is floating between $64 and $68. There's a couple points here where it floats down, but buy box is going to show you what the price action is when the sellers are being rotated in and out of the buy box. This here is going to show you if Amazon has ever been on the listing. So we can see that with this being toggled on, Amazon has never sold on this listing. This right here is the new price. So here is showing $56. It's important to note that this actually doesn't include shipping. So if somebody's new price is $56, they might offer free shipping, but they actually might have it built into a template where it's $56 for the new cost, but it might be $10 shipping. So this is showing the lowest new offer price. Here we have third-party FBA offers. So if I put this chart at the month, at a month, we can see that there's FBA offers from, again, the Supersonic Supply at 56. There's also offers at 59. So it's important to note that these actually are not sales. These are people listing at this price. So when you're looking at the chart and you see orange triangles here, that is not them selling at that price. That is simply them listing at that price. And then respectively, third-party FBM. This is sellers shipping and fulfilling their own orders. So again, this is showing you where people are listing at FBM. Again, not sales. This is a used price. We can see that some people are actually trying to sell this size in this shoe used. So we can see price movement here steadily declining for used. There's a couple of other used offers that I never touch. Warehouse deals is something that you don't necessarily need to worry about. Same thing with list price. So everything that I keep on up here, always sales rank, always buy box, always FBA third party. I don't ever really worry about FBM. I'm mainly sending in FBA inventory. And unless for some reason people are really holding the buy box FBM, FBA is usually winning the buy box more and kind of controlling where price is, unless there's a lot of people that are undercutting price FBM. So it's something that I'll turn on, but I'm mainly worried about looking at the buy box and FBA offers. The next thing, moving to the bottom of the chart, is you have a couple lines down here. First is ratings. We can see that the ratings actually seem like it's off for this. It's hard to believe that in a year there's no rating count going up on this. We can see review count kind of like skyrocket here over a year. So these two, you can kind of see how the product is getting rated or reviewed. So it's nice to be able to see that, but it's not something that I usually keep on. This is going to be the most important thing to have on at the bottom of your Keepa chart, which is new offer count. And a lot of time, price action of the buy box is actually mimicking the reverse of what the seller count is doing. So back here in September, we can see that the offer count is between 10 and maybe 15 sellers. And through the duration of October, this goes up to about 60. So these few weeks here, very strong increase in offer count. So we go from 13 sellers all the way up to 60, and the buy box price is coming down because there's more competition. And then there's a big sell-off into December, into Christmas time. Buy box recovers a little bit and sellers are coming off. So you always want to be looking at new offer count, because a lot of times that's showing you where the price action of the buy box is headed, or giving you an idea of, okay, if I'm looking at the chart like this, and something's profitable here, I can see where the buy box is. I'm seeing this huge steady increase here. So maybe it's not something that I want to go forward with, because I've seen a lot of charts like this, and I know that with the increase of seller count, it's usually going to mean a decrease in price. So that is pretty much the basics of the chart. Over here, we have just price, and on the bottom of the chart, we have dates. So we have, price over dates here, and then sales rank running up and down on the right-hand side. At the bottom here, it shows you current sales rank and also over 90 days and a year. It's also showing you what category and sales ranks drops in this for this specific item here. It's saying 72 drops a month. If you can actually count the physical drops here on a slower Keepa chart, this is probably accurate. In the thousands here, 3,000, it's selling a lot more than 72 a month. This only really works if it's a slower chart. A couple of other tabs here on Keepa is track product. There's a couple of different things you can turn on here. So let's say you stumbled across this product and you found it here. You knew that the buy box was, up here at 70, but now you found it on November, maybe 22nd or 23rd, and it's at 60. It might not be profitable here, but you can come in here and go to buy box. You can type in 70 here. You can flip this from less to more, and then you can track it for about a year or less. So this will actually monitor when the buy box floats back up to 70, and it will ping you. You can either set up an email or Telegram in here. There's other things you can set, like, sales rank or offer count. So this is a pretty good tab. It's usually something that I've used where things look profitable previously, but not currently. And it's a good reminder. Moving forward through this next tab, this is the data tab. This is going to show you pretty much everything you'd ever want to know with the ASIN. This is a variation, so it's pulling everything underneath this listing. It's showing you the current ASIN of this product. It's showing you current buy box seller, lowest FBA seller, pick and pack fees, pretty much anything you could ever want to know about this listing on Amazon. It's showing you averages here. The most important one is probably this buy box statistics. So on this page, we've already talked about the buy box up here. If I just refresh here, somebody actually might be rotated through by this point. No, this guy's still holding. So when we come down here, it's important to check this to maybe see how much you could potentially win or own the buy box. So back here, we see that there is, 60 plus sellers. Now there's currently 26. But who's actually winning the buy box? Here, if we switch to last one, we can see Supersonic has won 9% over the last 30 days. So this is a good tab to see. In the last 6 days, there's been these first few sellers that have been rotated through the buy box. Just because a store is not showing in here, they could actually win the buy box or be getting sales over the buy box price here, especially on faster selling items. But this gives you a good idea of, is there one person that is owning a lot of the buy box, like down here, 35%, 11%? Is there a good rotation of the buy box, or is one person pretty much owning it? And you can also see what type of seller is winning the buy box. Here, pretty much everyone that has won the buy box is selling FBA. So FBA across the board. You can see review count and ratings of the sellers. And this is just a good way to see, again, who's being rotated through and what is maybe their average price. Another tab is offers. So this is similar. You can see sort of what someone's stock is and potentially how many they've sold. This again is in the 30-day range. You can change the range up here to 30, 90, and 180. You can see the store name, ratings, and review count again. You can also see when they actually first came onto this listing. So far right, if we filter here, we can see that this person here that was actually the biggest holder of the buy box has been selling this for 34 months. So this again is a good tab to see maybe potentially how long has someone been on the listing and how much stock they've sold. And you have a couple settings over here to pretty much adjust how Keepa is laid out. But the main thing with Keepa is this is a pretty good way to be able to track items. And you're always going to want to check this tab for buy box statistics. Those are pretty much the takeaways of Keepa. All right, so the last little bit here that we're going to cover is variations. So like I mentioned before, this is a variation listing, meaning that there's a lot of different sizes equivalent to, there's a lot of different sizes that also have their specific listing on Amazon. So one way to view that is the variations tab. So on this tab, we can see all individual sizes, aka variations on Amazon. We can see ratings, current lowest new price, buy box price here, buy box history here. We can see color, ratings, review. You can adjust these. So if you wanted to move these around, you can do that. New offer count, history, all of that stuff. You can also filter these. So if you wanted to see the highest selling buy box current price, we can see that 12.5 here in this black and white is currently at 103, previously down at 90. If you wanted to look at something with the lowest offer count, you can also filter that. So right here, this in a size 6, we currently have 3 sellers, as opposed to this most popular here at all black in a size 11. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up all of the tabs. One other thing that you can do is open this up in the product finder. If you wanted a bigger view, you can click on this right here. It opens you up into a bigger screen. Um, Again, having a couple more data points to look at with averages over 90 days instead of a smaller screen. But overall, we can dive into a more depth, maybe with an analysis video moving forward. But this is pretty much everything you need to get comfortable with the tool. You're definitely going to want to have these settings that I have on over here toggled on to be able to see how fast the product is moving and where you might be able to sell at buy box price. So I appreciate you guys taking a look, and we'll catch you in the next one.